happened to the favorite lapdog of the Dutch royals? To really understand this breed, we have to start with a mystery. For centuries, a small, elegant black dog sat on the laps of Dutch nobility. They wandered the grand halls of country estates and castles, and then they just seemingly vanished. Today, we're going to solve this lost pearl mystery, tracing how a dog that literally rubbed elbows with kings almost disappeared entirely, and the monumental effort it took to bring them back.
Section 1. The Dutch Tulip Hound, a royal companion.
First off, let's nail down that pronunciation. It is pronounced Marquise. It's a Dutch word, and that little suffix, "je," literally means small. Now, the exact origin of the name is actually a bit debated. Some historians believe they were named after the Marquise de Pompadour, the famous mistress of French King Louis XV, who might have actually owned these dogs. Others think it comes from the French word marqueur, meaning pointing dog. But hey, if you find Markisje a bit tricky to say, don't worry. They also go by an incredibly cute moniker, the Dutch Tulip Hound.
Moving right along to Section 2, History Hidden in Art, Clues in Canvas. What is so wild about this breed is that before the 1970s, the only real proof they existed was frozen in time. You look at 19th century paintings of the Dutch royal family, and right there, sitting on a princess's lap, is this small black and white spaniel-like dog. Artworks just like that from the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries act as absolute historical evidence. They prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that these dogs were the prized companions of wealthy European families and royalty. They were everywhere in high society.
But they didn't just stay locked up in palaces. Eventually, they became a super common sight in everyday Dutch life. You can even spot little black dogs, perfectly resembling the Markisje, just walking down common streets in early 20th century school board illustrations. They were totally woven into the culture. But sadly, despite their massive popularity, as the Netherlands entered the modern era, the breed was neglected. Their population drastically dwindled until, well, they were virtually extinct.
Which brings us to Section 3, Restoring the Breed, Bringing Back the Pearl.
So how did they come back? Well, it was a totally painstaking multi-decade process. It all started back in 1963 when a Dutch dog breeder named Mia van Woerden saw a small black dog that completely matched those old historic paintings. She basically became obsessed with restoring the breed. She went to the media, begging anyone with a look-alike dog to come forward. After some initial struggles with crossbreeding, a massive breakthrough finally happened in 1977 with the birth of a dog named Palm. By 1979, a dedicated breed club was formed. And finally, in 1999, decades later, the Dutch Kennel Club officially recognized the Markiesje.
We absolutely have to pause here and give a huge and frankly adorable shout out to Palm, the foundation mother of the modern breed. It is just the cutest nod to history when you see her gorgeous puppies. Every single recognized Markisje today owes its existence to this one dignified little dog. Owned by Mrs. Meek van Etteren, Palm whelped 3 entire litters, produced 12 perfect puppies, and lived to the ripe old age of 17. It just goes to show how one special pup can literally save an entire lineage from the brink. And the success of that incredibly strict breeding program is just mind-blowing. When you compare those 19th century royal portraits directly with modern Markisjes, it's like looking in a mirror across centuries. The breeders didn't just invent a new dog, they reconstructed a masterpiece. They painstakingly matched the type, those beautiful feathered ears, and that sleek black coat until the modern dogs perfectly mirrored their royal ancestors. It's truly amazing.
All right, Section 4. Traits and temperament, not just a lapdog.
Let's talk specs. The Markisje is a remarkably healthy, pretty small breed. They typically live a solid 12 to 14 years, weigh just 11 to 13 pounds, and stand about 12 to 14 inches tall. And one of their absolute most striking features is that gorgeous coat. It's a medium-length, single-layer coat that is always a shiny, solid black or black with some white markings. And thankfully for owners, it's actually very easy to maintain. It just requires some regular brushing.
But here is the absolute crucial takeaway for us today. Do not let that pampered, aristocratic past fool you. While they totally were the favorite lapdogs of the French and Dutch elite, their modern reality is entirely different. The Markisje is highly active. Seriously, they are not couch potatoes. They love to run, they love to retrieve, and they require about 45 minutes of vigorous daily outdoor exercise. If they don't get it, well, they might just start developing some unwanted behaviors, like excessive barking.
But beyond the exercise requirements, their temperament is renowned as being pretty much near perfect for a companion. They are lively, super friendly, and they just thrive on attention. They make absolutely fantastic companions for kids and other pets. And because they're highly alert, they make excellent watchdogs who will definitely let you know if someone is at the front door. But let's be real here, they are way too small and way too friendly to be actual guard dogs. At the end of the day, they just really want to please you, which makes them highly trainable.
Okay, finally, Section 5, the quest for a puppy, finding the rare pearl. 0. Yep, you heard me right. 0. That is the exact number of legitimate Markisje breeders currently located in the United States. They are primarily found only in the Netherlands, and they are carefully guarded by the Dutch Breed Club.
Because this breed is still in active development, the Dutch Association, the NMV, heavily controls the population to ensure optimal health and genetic diversity. The process is incredibly strictly regulated. Step 1, you have to register on the official NMV waiting list. Step 2, you wait for the Breeding Advisory Committee to actually notify you of a litter. And Step 3, you connect with the breeder. And keep in mind, the breeder always has the absolute final say on whether you are a suitable home for one of their precious puppies. So we really need to set some realistic expectations here. Because they are so rare and the breeding is managed so closely, patience is absolutely required. Right now, the expected wait time is about 1 full year if you want a male puppy, and an entire 1 to 2 years if you're holding out for a female. Now, this incredibly strict process builds a massive hurdle for international lovers of the breed, especially for those of us in North America. Breeders almost never ship puppies independently. You generally have to travel all the way to the Netherlands to pick them up yourself. But the biggest roadblock? There is a strict US CDC rule, effective August 2024, that states dogs must be at least 6 months old to enter America. Since puppies usually leave their mother at around 8 weeks, finding a Dutch breeder willing to hold, train, and care for a puppy for an additional 15+ weeks before you can import them is just incredibly rare.
Dog writer Ria Horder really hit the nail on the head when she summed up why this process is so intense. She wrote, "The Breed Club wants to follow every dog during its entire life. These Dutch breeders, they aren't trying to be difficult, they are fiercely protective. I mean, think about it. They spent 40 years